Come take a look at the newest core box for Age of Sigmar.
Spiky bits.
What's up, hobby maniacs? Rob Baer with you again today, taking a closer look at the new Blightwar box set for the Age of Sigmar. And this is the, I guess they're kind of getting back to their roots of putting out a box with existing miniatures, but also kind of putting in two new miniatures. We saw that, I think, first with the Stormclaw box for Orcs and Space Wolves way back in 2000, I want to say summer of 2014. This box is $160 US. It's a great value. It's a great bundle. If you add up the individual units, I think it comes up to $243. That's assuming that you take half price for the hunters in here, because they normally come in a box of 10. There's only 5 in here, but even at that rate, you're looking at $243, and assuming that these guys are, I don't know, the Neve Black Talon and Horticulus Slime, Mr. Snails, is at least worth $25 each. Let's say what a clan pack costs these days, at least 25, sometimes more. Then you're probably looking around the realm of $300, whereas this this bundle is like a 40% discount over MSRP, and that's assuming that you don't even get a discount at your local store, which at this point a lot of stores are offering that sort of thing. So once you open it up, you're gonna get all the sprues right on top. Everything's really packaged well. Games Workshop has become a straight gangster at that, making sure that you get that great out-of-boxing experience, from the little black trays with the fold-out, kind of clamshell plastic thing, to just everything being nice and snug and secure, so nothing is damaged in here. If you do get any damages, hit up your local GW customer service. Numbers are listed on their site. They're usually pretty good about replacing things, or if anything's missing, these things do happen. Don't be discouraged. You can see here the two new miniatures, Lady Cast and Mr. Snails, right there, right on top. Now, we've unboxed all of this stuff over here numerous times throughout the channel's history, so you can definitely check out all of this. But first, let's just break it down. So obviously, you have a squad of Plague Bearers. Those are $29, I believe, $33 nowadays. You've got the Hunters here. Like I said, these are coming in the 5-pack. So the 5-pack normally is $60, so I think you're looking at $30 for that one. Then you got the Chocobos, brand new Raptor models for the Stormcast themselves. Right here, we have a great showcase up for these guys, as well as the individual model as well. Those go for $35. The Paladors, these are the Hurricane Shooty guys. These guys are pretty dope. They're $30 here. And then on the Nurgle side of things, you've got the Nurgleen sprue themselves, the Plague Drone sprues themselves. Plague Drones are $60, Nurgleens are $25, and then you get down to the meat and potatoes. All the bases and everything are down in here. You don't have to worry about any of that. The rulebook and everything is actually underneath there. So what they did was they put this little insert in here, so if any of the sprues kind of dig in, they dig into this paper, so they don't destroy your rulebook and everything, which is kind of cool. And the reason for that is because that you actually, there's some really dope supplements in here that we're about to show you. But first off, let's take a closer look at the miniatures. Now, all the stuff, like I said, we have showed you before on this channel, so I'm not going to really get into, hey, here's this, and hey, here's that. Let's just cover the new stuff so we can get into the actual content of the box set right here. So you got Neve Black Talon, and she comes with two different head options, of course, the Baer head and the not Baer head. She goes together just like you would expect from a multi-part kit. You got the front, you got an extra leg here, some of her stuff on her belt. Her cape is separate, and then her 2 axes. In combat, in close combat, she's amazing. She's got like 7 attacks. She does extra damage against heroes. Mr. Snails right here goes together much as you expect from a normal kind of plastic multi-part kit these days that comes as a character. There's going to be some halves, there's going to be some open air bladders in here, a little bit of terrain feature, which is also pretty cool, I suppose. Then you get into a lot of the basing and everything. You can put his little feet on, definitely not optional there. Your eyeballs not optional. I kind of like the little squig, or the little Nurgling kind of bait, the carrot on the stick, so to speak, that's leading him along. I feel like none of that is optional, but then a lot of these parts here, depending on how committed you are to painting this guy, might be optional, like some of these extra pieces. So that's up to you at the end of the day if you want to have all those trophies and stuff around there. And then Horticulus, Slimulix, goes right on the front there, goes together pretty reasonably, it looks like. No fuss, no muss, and then the rest of those there. Now, the book, oh, well, something else you get in here. You get a nice laminated Age of Sigmar rules set right here, the 4-page rules. Now, remember, there is some PDFs online, some FAQs, so to speak, online. I think that document is about 7 pages long, but it's not, front to back and everything, so still pretty good value out there as far as, this is a pretty concise rule set, except for the updates that we just saw. There was a ton of updates. Now, speaking of updates, this particular box, or this particular set, is going to come with this Balaton right here, which may be important to a lot of you out there that play either Nurgle or perhaps Stormcast guys in here, because you're going to get new rules for both of these characters that we just talked about. But there's allegiance abilities in here too that we hadn't seen before, and that's this cycle of Nurgle Blight King thing. And you roll a dice at the start of the game to figure out what it's on, and then you rotate it clockwise for the rest of the game. So say you roll a d6 and you get 6, you start right there. The next turn, okay, this is what's happening. Next turn, okay, this is what's happening. Extra 2 inches movement. So you can kind of know what's coming up and kind of plan your moves around, like, hey, if you're going to heal, or hey, you need to move quicker, because that makes a lot of units, like the Blight drones and everything, moving 10 now. Your Plague Bearers are moving 6, so they're really hustling, getting back D3 wounds and stuff. There's some really good abilities in here, and this is a new free allegiance ability in here. Now, there's some battle plans and stuff. There's 3 battle plans in here, so you can recreate the whole backstory to what's going on. We got all the war scrolls to everything that comes in here. Of course, we're going to talk about the 2 new ones. Some background and things on both of them. There's your battle plans 1, 2, and 3, and a battle there's all the battle plans right there and the lead up to what exactly is going on. And the pitch battle profiles are in the back right here. So this is going to give you the points, which we hadn't seen up till now. So Neve Black Talon is 120. Horticulus is 200. He's a leader and you can only have 1. And of course the same with Neve Black Talon as well right there. So let's check out the war scroll and be done with this book. Okay, so there's Horticulus. And he, at first, for 200 points, he's got a 5-inch move, 8 wounds, 10 bravery, 3+ save. He's got his lopping shears, 1-inch range, 3 attacks, 3's to hit, 3's to wound, -1 rend, D3 damage. Pretty respectable, I'll take that. The slime encrusted jaws does D3 attacks at 3's, -2, and a solid 2 damage all day, every day. Now what he does is he actually kind of beefs up your Beasts of Nurgle, which they don't come with Beasts of Nurgle in this box, unfortunately, and I think they're fine cast still. Some people use the toads from Forge World, which I think is a pretty cool, kind of savvy alternative right there. So don't be alarmed if you see that on the tabletop. Those guys are actually pretty neat looking. Beast Handler, you can reroll failed charge rolls for friendly units of Beasts of Nurgle that are within 7 of Horticulus. In addition, you can reroll hits for 1 with friendly units that are within 14. So those are some really good advantages right there. Obviously, you're going to want him in the center of your formation, kind of divvying out all these different things or running a flank with them. And remember, the Beasts of Nurgle have like a random kind of assault type thing, so that definitely helps their ability right there. He's disgustingly resilient, so he can ignore wounds or mortal wounds on a 5-up after they are inflicted. And all friendly Nurgle models within 1 heal 1 wound each time a unit is wiped out within 7. So whether it's theirs or whether it's the enemy, it doesn't matter. If you fall back with him, every unit within D3 of the Somulix, when he starts to make a retreat move, suffers D3 mortal wounds as they slip in his slime. So that was a pretty interesting ability right there. For 200, I think he's definitely not made for every version of a Nurgle army out there. If you're running Beast, then you're gonna want him for sure. But other than that, I don't feel like he is a must-have. Oh, and here's his base size. It is the large cavalry base, the one that like the Mornfangs and stuff come on. Yeah, I didn't mention that, and I forgot to show it to you on the thing right there. So it's the same size as Baller Series Call, which you can kind of tell once we start looking at the model here in a second. Okay, next up is Neve Black Talon, and there she is. She is a blender in combat. The Whirlwind Axes, 7 attacks, 3's to hit, 3's to wound, -1 damage. Okay, fine. That's good. I'll take that. 120 points. Yep, 6-inch move, 6 wounds, 9 bravery, 3-up save. Her pistol is pretty good. 2 shots, 3's, no run, but hey, it's freebies. If somebody uses that Wind Rider ability, like the Chocobos, the etheric winds to set up and reform on the board edge. She can go along with them, which is a pretty neat ability there. She can run and shoot in the same turn. Again, super bonus. If she goes up against a hero model, target hero model, then her Black Talon attacks have a damage of 2 instead of 1. So that's have a damage of 2. Yeah, so both of them actually. So she runs, she can get in there and get some vectors on somebody, and try to snipe out somebody or something like that maybe. Well, it becomes 2 right there. And each hit roll of 6 or more made in the combat phase, she may immediately make another attack. Now remember, per the rules of 5 now, I guess it is in the General's Handbook, you can't explode a 6. You can't double tap something. So it only does it once. It doesn't reactivate if you keep rolling 6s. You can't go infinite. So there she is right now for 120. I feel like if you're rolling with those guys that come on from the board edge, it definitely might be good. Oh, let me show you the traits too, the new allegiance traits that are in here. So for Nurgle, like I said, it's freebie. You just get it. If you're running straight Nurgle, you get this trait chart right here. Here's the order that it goes in. It just says you roll at the start of first battle round of any battle. A dice must be rolled, and that's where it starts at, and then it goes in a clockwise manner around, and you'll be able to know what it's going to do. You can probably take this page out here. Signs of the Storm, nothing new here. You can port down from the heavens. We've seen that. We've seen that for a while, I feel like. But there they are right there, just a friendly reminder. So maybe Nurgle's going to get a book in the near future, but this dial, having this cool little game aid ready to go right there if you are playing Nurgle is a pretty neat little bonus. I mean, obviously at the end of the day, if you're not running Stormcast and you're not running, or you're not running Nurgle, this box probably isn't for you, to be quite honest, unless you and a friend just want to pick it up. But then again, I don't think there's any battle lines in here, to be quite honest. So I'm not even sure you can make a legal pitch battle army, to be honest. I'd have to look. I have to grab the General's Handbook. Let me grab the General's Handbook. But I feel like there is no battle line. The Chocobos, I do not believe, are battle lines unless you take something. Oh, okay. Well, you could. So you do get a box of the Vanguard Hunters, which is cool, or you get 5 of those, which is the squad size. So if you have a Stormcast Eternal Allegiance, and your general is a Lord Aquiller, which is the guy riding the other Raptor or the Chocobo, whatever you want to call it, then they do become battle line. And Liberators are battle line, so that looks to be it. So you have 1, so that would be difficult. If you get, you're still gonna need something else. You can't play this as pitch battle right out of the box. It looks like you could for Nurgle because the Plague Bearers. Well, no, you only get Nurglings do not count either. I do not think. Let's see if that's been updated. I suppose if you have existing models, pretty much everybody allies with Stormcast, so you might be able to work something in there. Plague Bearers are battle line. Nurglings are not. Yep, so you would need another box of Plague Bearers. So if you just wanted to agree on playing a game with, 1 battle line or something like that, I think you might be okay. If you go to, let's see. If you go to, say you have play a 1,000-point game, you're going to need at least 2 battle lines. So you'd have to buy 2 of these boxes in order to be compliant with the pitch battle. But it is what it is. It's a great way to load up on some miniatures that you might not have for either of these existing armies. If you don't play Stormcast and you don't play, Nurgle, you might not be interested in this, to be quite honest. But here you can see the detail of Mr. Snails. So you got your left, right halves right here. Boom, boom. This is going to be so you got your left and right half. That actually locks into the bottom of the snail right here. Here's your little dangle. Here's your thing off the back, your stack off the back, the feats that go underneath it, which are right here. You're going to lock into this guy right here. There's your rider. So lots and lots of extra doodads that you may or may not want on here. Where's the eye stacks? There's the eye stacks right there. So very cool looking miniature. I'd love to see more of these, like a squad of these snails. That'd be pretty sweet. And here's Neve, Black Talon. She looks pretty cool. Obviously, another clan back scenario. You may see her released separately in the future. She's got her 2 axes right there. And there's her, where's her front half? Okay, so her front half goes here, and then you got the little leg that struts out from there. It connects right there. 2 arms, 2 different heads. She's got a shoulder pad as well right there. So, yeah, looks to be good. And the cape is separate, of course. But it does look like you need it because, oh, do you? You might not need it, actually. You might be able to keep it off if you really wanted to. But regardless, you know, it's a great looking miniature. They've got all sorts of nice looking things in here from the actual little battle tome itself to these 2 new miniatures to, you know, the savings that you get in here. So overall, like I said, you probably don't need it if you have no use for either of these armies, but you could double it up, split it with a friend, something like that. For Stormcast, this is a great way to get some of those new units that came out earlier in the year that might have been a little expensive at the time, and then you just have to pick up the Lord of Cooler on his own, so you can have their little sergeant guy or their little leader guy to go along with it. So that's it for this one. I apologize for the harshness of my voice. Unfortunately, a little under the weather, but we were still able to get out and get these reviews done for you. So that's about it that we know right now. Like I said, lots more new releases coming out. We got Shadespire coming out for Age of Sigmar. We've got the new campaign box that looks to be coming out in the near future, possibly October, and lots more Death Guard and 40k goodness on the way. Now, if you like our video features here on the channel, make sure you subscribe to us and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on our videos. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.